Southern Sins is a true crime podcast intended for mature audiences. This show contains extreme language, graphic content, and discussions of real-life violence that may be disturbing for some listeners. Listeners' discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, it's JJ.
And it's Lexi.
And this is Southern Sins.
It's been a minute. We
got
apologize.
microphones.
Yes, we did. We got microphones.
We told y'all it would happen eventually.
Eventually. We did tell y'all that it was going to happen.
So, lovely comeback.
Yeah, came back even better. JJ's moved back in. She lost her phone, including some episodes that she had on her phone.
Yes.
So, y'all are only going to get one episode right now until JJ.
I get my phone.
Yeah, until JJ gets her phone, her files back, something. We'll figure it out. But, yeah, that's pretty much all the news we have.
Yeah. Today's Lexi's episode.
It is my episode. And today's episode is on Gary Ridgway. But before we begin, I want to give a clear trigger warning about this episode. We'll be talking about a case that involves a lot of violence against women and minors, including themes of sexual assault. So please take care of yourself while listening and skip this one if you have to.
Yes.
Yes. Because we always want y'all to take care of yourselves. So Gary Leon Ridgway, or known by the media as the Green River Killer, hid for over 2 decades. He haunted the Seattle and Tacoma area, leaving behind heartbreak, confusion, and more questions than anyone could ever answer. But before he became one of the most prolific serial killers in American history, he was just another little boy growing up in a working-class family. And like we always do here on Southern Sins, we're going to start at the beginning. Not to excuse him, but to understand how someone could become such a
that
person.
Way.
Yeah. We're
Try to.
We're going to figure out maybe if something was there that maybe caused an issue. And let me say
that there was.
There was definitely some influence into his earlier
years.
Yeah. Or later years, not earlier.
Right.
Earlier years, messed up. Later years, also messed up. Let me put it like that.
Every bit of it messed up.
So, in his early life, Gary Ridgway, he was born on February 18th, 1949 in Salt Lake City, Utah. He was the middle child in a deeply dysfunctional household. His father, Thomas Newton Ridgway, worked as a bus driver. Okay.
Really? Bus driver?
A bus driver. So he would drive around the city,
Picking up kids?
No, not that type of bus driver.
Oh.
Like, bus stop bus driver. Like, big city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greyhound bus.
Yeah, something like that. He often complained about the prostitutes he encountered on his route.
Well.
Yeah. But the way that he would complain about them is he would be like, they're dirty, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but at the same time, also interact with them in an opposite manner.
He was one of those men.
Yes, he was. He was very much like, I'm going to openly hate on your lifestyle and what you do to provide for your family, but I'm also going to help you provide for your family. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
So that whole attitude, Gary very much carried on into his later years.
I assume he would.
Yeah. Ridgway's mother, Mary Rita Ridgway. Mary Rita. It sounds like somebody wanted a margarita whenever they gave birth.
Yeah.
But she worked as a sales clerk at JCPenney. but some sources noted that she specifically worked in the men's section of the local department store and would discuss details of measuring men's suits with her son, but in the weirdest ways possible.
That is disturbing.
Yeah, so she would, like, tailor these men's suits, measure them and everything, and then tell her son about it in the weirdest fucking ways possible. Yeah, Gary Ridgway later would tell psychiatrists that he had a complicated relationship with his mother. He claimed that she would berate him, make him feel ashamed, and that he had conflicting feelings towards her, feelings of both anger and sexual attraction.
Whoa,
Yeah.
he liked his mom.
He liked his mom more than a child should. Yeah, he also admitted that he would often fantasize about murdering his mother.
Will, and don't most of them.
Yeah, a lot of them do have some sort of
Really bad hatred.
yeah towards their mother, and that's
Or
what
father.
yeah.
But a lot of cases, it's the mother.
It's a lot of the case. It is the mother, because she wasn't loved right in some shape, form, or fashion, and then just pushes on through.
Something
Generational.
happens.
Yeah, something happens, but not all the time.
No, not all the time.
Not all the time. But these early experiences would later become a key part of psychological analysis into why he developed such violent tendencies towards women, like we've seen in the past with other cases.
Right.
Yeah. At school, Gary struggled. He had a low IQ, around 82, when the average range is to be considered to be at least 85 to 115.
Really?
Yeah. So,
He had it really low.
yeah, that would be considered a very low IQ. Yeah. He was always a quiet, awkward, and isolated kid, but there was also a streak of cruelty beneath the surface. As a teenager around 15, 16 years old, he lured a 6-year-old boy into the woods near his neighborhood and stabbed him through the rib and into his liver, just to see what it felt like. The boy survived, but that single act showed how early his lack of empathy had begun.
Oh my god. So, like
He lured the
how did he not get in trouble?
Because they were like, oh,
You're a child.
you're a kid.
You don't know no better.
Yeah, pretty much.
Squirrels. Look at them.
Oh, I see them.
They're running.
One's in the little...
Bush. And one's in the tree. They're fat.
Yeah, they are.
God.
Fatter than earlier. They must have ate something. But after graduating from Thai High School in 1969, Gary, he had married his 19-year-old high school sweetheart, Claudia Craig. Then he joined the Navy. But while stationed overseas in Vietnam, he reportedly spent time with sex workers, and he ended up catching gonorrhea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit happens, don't it?
Oh, well, he had tried using that excuse. Shit happens, and Claudia was pissed.
I bet she was.
She was pissed.
As she should be.
Yes. But nonetheless, Gary continued sleeping with the sex workers without protection, and his marriage to Claudia Craig overall only lasted a year. Yep. It's because after he was like, hey, baby, I'm a little itchy. She was like, nope. Gary, we've done this so many times now, I can't no more. No more, Gary.
No more, Gary.
He remarried several times after that. He always presented himself as the quiet, hardworking man next door. But when investigators interviewed the people who knew him, many described him as a polite and friendly person, but he also had a weird, persona about him.
Right.
He was just odd in ways that they couldn't explain. It was unsettling. His first 2 marriages ended in divorce. With both of his partners, he was unfaithful. He just could not
Stay faithful.
Could not. His second wife, who he had a son with, Marcia Winslow, later said that he had once put her in a chokehold. During that same marriage, Ridgway became intensely religious. He went door to door trying to convert people to read the Bible. And
Really?
Yeah, he was big, like, Bible thumping.
But he was...
But he was aggressive towards his wife heavily.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He would also read the Bible aloud at home and at work. Yeah. But he would also pressure his wife really hard to obey the pastor's strict teachings. But he would even break down crying after reading scripture or listening to sermons.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He would turn on the waterworks. But would also
Beat his wife.
And cheat on her.
And stabbed a kid when he was...
Yeah, whenever he was 16 years old, stabbed a 6-year-old boy.
But...
Continued on, went to Vietnam, got gonorrhea because he wouldn't wear a condom while sleeping with sex workers while cheating on his wife.
And then...
Divorced, remarried.
Badly cries to the scriptures.
Yeah, and then badly cries to, ugly cries to the sermons.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My notes. I don't know what happened. What? Okay, but despite this outward devotion, Ridgway continued hiring sex workers and pressured his wife to have sex in public or inappropriate places, sometimes in the very locations where his victims' bodies were eventually found.
No.
Yeah.
Gross.
Very much so. Ridgway admitted that he had an obsession with sex workers.
Was he a necrophile? Just wondering.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see it now.
Well, we're gonna get into it, and you'll be able to see a little bit more clearer, sadly. But, like I said, he had admitted that he had an obsession with sex workers, a twisted mix of desire and resentment. He often complained about them being in his neighborhood, yet he repeatedly sought out their services. Kind of like his dad.
Mostly like his dad.
Yeah. See, there's
Not
a little...
kind of.
Yeah. Very much like father, like son in that one.
Yeah.
But during his plea hearing, he even stated that he hated prostitutes and didn't want to pay them for sex.
I bet he didn't want to pay.
No, he didn't. He didn't. And he was one of those, well, I'm so good at it, I don't have to... I don't know where my brain was going. I remembered what I was going to say. It's basically like an ego boost for them. They want it, they seek out the services, but then they don't want to pay because they think that they're so good.
Yeah.
And they get all these compliments from the women because it's what they are being paid for.
Right. That's exactly what they're being paid for.
And then they get mad. They turn around and get mad because the woman's like, okay, well, time's up.
You still gotta pay me.
You gotta pay me. We did all this. I sat here, spent my time with you. Mm-hmm. You knew the deal.
Right. You knew you had to pay me. Now you mad?
Now you mad. So, besides that, some have suggested that Ridgway was caught between his sexual compulsions and the strict religious beliefs he tried to uphold.
Yeah, I was about to say uphold because he was not...
He was not following what he was
all.
saying at all, by no means whatsoever. But it started around 1982 when young women and girls began disappearing near Seattle's SeaTac Strip, an area known for prostitution and runaways. Many of these victims weren't even adults. They were teenagers, some just 15 or 16 years old, struggling to survive. They were vulnerable, often without stable homes, sometimes trying to escape abuse, addiction, or poverty.
Of course they were. They always picked the vulnerable
because
ones.
No 13-year-old, no 14-year-old, no 15-year-old is going to be like, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go do this. So, for fun.
Right, for fun.
No. They're trying to survive. The detectives soon realized that they were dealing with a serial killer. The press dubbed him the Green River Killer, and just like that, fear gripped the entire region. Ridgway targeted women who were often ignored or judged by society. He would pick them up, usually under the ruse of paying for sex. He would
there's a baby squirrel.
What?
There's a baby squirrel and a big squirrel.
Oh, I see him. Adorable. Adorable distractions.
I'm sorry, y'all.
But, yeah, so he would pick them up, usually under the ruse of paying for sex. He would often use a photo of his son as a prop. The son that I had mentioned previously earlier. Showing it to the women to lower their guard and make him believe that he was harmless is why he would do that. And it worked.
Like, look, I have a kid, so...
Well, yeah, because he would also show up with the car where his son's car seat and toys and everything is in the back. And so she's like, okay, this is a family man.
Right, he can't...
He has kids. He can't... He wouldn't do that.
He's just cheating.
He's just cheating. Maybe a single dad. Who knows? But it's not for me to know. But he's got a kid, so maybe he wouldn't do that.
Right.
But once he had them isolated, he would start engaging in sexual activity, and after a few minutes, he would reach his arm around the front of their necks, strangling them. The exact details were later revealed through his confessions, but what really mattered most was that each one of these women was a person with a story, someone's daughter, sister, or friend. Throughout the early to mid-1980s, bodies continued to turn up near rivers, forests, and construction sites. The bodies were often left in clusters, sometimes posed, usually nude. He would sometimes return back to the victims' bodies and engage in necrophilia.
Yep.
Yeah. He later explained that he did not find necrophilia more sexually satisfying, but having sex with the deceased reduced his need to obtain a living victim, and that supposedly helped him not get caught by the police.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Because he would go back and do what
he needed to do, so he's like, oh, well.
What he thought he needed to do.
They're so tiny.
The squirrels.
Oh my gosh. There's so many today.
Oh, Lord.
They're really tiny. Look at them.
We're gonna have to get, like, a block for the window or something.
Yeah.
Because, Jesus Christ.
Look at
it's a baby.
And his little tail just a shaking.
There's two more over there.
I know, and there's two in the bush.
Two in the bush.
All the squirrels are out. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Are you gonna be able to...
No, they're so fucking cute.
Jesus Christ. Anyways.
Got a brain of a flea.
Yeah, you do. Jesus Christ. Gary occasionally tried to confuse investigators by scattering gum, cigarettes, and personal items that belonged to the other people at his dump sites. So he would, like, dig through the trash, find people's gum, discarded cigarette butts, and it's honest. It's kind of smart. I'm not giving him prop, but the way that he tried to distract them, it shows that he very much had a plan. I'm not calling him smart in that sense. It's just showing that he very much thought about all of it. Clear as day. Like, I need to hide my evidence. I need to deter my tracks. I need to... Yeah. So, insanity, I don't think so. I don't think so. He even transported a few victims' remains across state lines into Oregon to throw police off his trail. So, again, I don't think he could ever claim insanity.
No.
He's still alive.
Oh.
Yeah, forgot to mention.
Love that.
He's alive.
Piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. A distinct... Oh, Jesus, my fucking lip ring got hung up on my tooth.
Oh my god.
A distinctive type of spray paint was discovered on the clothing wrapped around one of the victims' necks, but the evidence sat untested for nearly 20 fucking years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shows you how well they were doing their job.
Well, you can't blame them too much because it is, like, early 1980s, mid 1980s, and DNA testing wasn't that great.
I know,
but
still.
A lot of the evidence was handled poorly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back then, a lot of evidence was lost, too.
It was. But this specific, I don't know why I just blanked on that word, but this specific piece of evidence had been analyzed at the time. Not very well, but analyzed. And investigators might have linked the murder to Ridgway much earlier.
Probably.
If they would have done it the right way. But they
didn't.
They didn't. After 4 more bodies were found, the Kings County Sheriff's Office created the Green River Task Force to handle the growing cases. Among its members were Robert Kepnell and David Reichert. Please don't hate me. Both of whom, in 1984, interviewed incarcerated serial killer Ted Bundy. Yeah. Bundy provided his own insights into this killer's psychological, motives, all of it, and, yeah. He told investigators that...
So they asked Ted Bundy,
yeah.
What'd you think about this?
They straight up asked Ted Bundy what he thought about this, if he would have a specific pattern, lifestyle, maybe what his motives were, because I guess what better way to get inside of a serial killer's head than...
with another serial killer.
Yep. And Ted Bundy did say that the Green River Killer was probably a local, married, and living a double life. And he was 100% fucking right.
Yep.
100%. So, Gary Ridgway was arrested in 1982 on charges related to prostitution, because he did very much get caught up. He became a suspect in the Green River killings in 1983 when 18-year-old Marie Mavar disappeared. Her boyfriend and her pimp later found the truck in front of Ridgway's house, which they had thought was the same one that she was in the day that she went missing. Yeah, so she was with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend knew about the pimp.
Right.
Boyfriend and pimp kind of working together. Boyfriend was there to protect girlfriend. And pimp was there to organize it, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So she got out the truck from her boyfriend.
Right.
Got into Ridgway's truck. And the boyfriend trailed behind Ridgway and Mary.
Right.
Or Marie. I'm sorry. And, somehow, some way...
form, fashion.
He got ahead, and he lost him. Yeah. Oh. So, some shape, form, fashion, the boyfriend lost sight of Gary Ridgway's truck and was not able to find him. So, they eventually did, find the vehicle. Just, riding around one day.
Oh.
Noticed that truck
was the vehicle.
Was the same truck that
just took her off.
Yep, that took Marie off. So they put in that tip. They called the hotline and told the hotline. So obviously the hotline was like, okay, we're gonna track Mr. Gary Ridgway, see what he's been up to. And he obviously went back to same old spots that he had been going to and got caught up. So, Ridgway was interviewed since he was part of that event, and police received several other tips that mentioned him. He was given a polygraph test, he passed, and the police sent him on his way, because, as we all know, that's not viable. It's not reliable. Sadly, I don't know why they do it if they can't do anything about it. Because what's the point? What is the point? Anyways, his polite and unassuming demeanor made it easy for detectives to move on. Around 1985, Gary started dating a woman named Judith Mawson. By 1987, investigators were still circling Ridgway, even though nothing had stuck yet. In April of that year, detectives collected hair and saliva samples from him, routine evidence at the time, but crucial later on. They didn't have the technology then to do much with it, but those samples were preserved, and when DNA profiling advanced years later, the old evidence would become the key that finally opened the door to his arrest. Judith Mason, or did I say Mawson a minute ago?
I don't know.
I did. That autocorrect. It's Judith Mawson. I'm sorry. But she would become his third wife in 1988, and in later interviews, she reflected on some of the things that in hindsight seemed unsettling.
I bet they did.
Yeah. She said that when she first moved into his house, she noticed that there was no carpet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No carpet.
No carpet, no floor, no tile, no nothing. And in the 80s, carpet was a big thing. Okay?
Right.
Everybody had carpet. He didn't. He had no floor. So, the no carpet startled her enough.
I could tell.
But no floor.
Because I don't like carpet, but still.
But no floor, yeah. At the same time, she didn't think much of it, but years later, detectives told...
So what, it was just like the plywood?
Yeah, it was like the floor that goes up underneath the carpeting.
Okay.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Years later, detectives told her that Ridgway may have removed it because he had wrapped the victim up in that same carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so could have.
Yeah. Judith also talked about how Ridgway would leave work for, like, unusually early on certain mornings, supposedly to earn overtime. Looking back, she wondered if those early morning departures were actually times he went out to commit murders. She said that she had no idea that he was connected to the Green River cases until authorities contacted her in 1987, and she claimed she wasn't familiar with the cases at all because she didn't follow the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just one of those people that was like, the news, it's all the time depressing. I don't watch it because it takes a toll on my mental space.
Right.
Yeah. Ridgway himself later said that when he was with Judith, his killer rate went down and that he genuinely loved her. Out of the 49 victims he ultimately confessed to, only three were murdered after their marriage. Yeah. Oh, and Judith gave a quote in one interview that honestly rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, including me. She said, I feel like I saved lives by being his wife and making him happy.
Yeah, that doesn't...
Let me remind you.
He's still killed.
He's still killed. And not only that, he had been married previous times before.
Yeah.
Three times before, I believe. Or two, I don't know. Either way, he was married before, more than once. And that's her perspective, but that's the quote. And from my point of view, that feels like a slap in the face to every woman who came before her. His previous partners weren't responsible for his violence, and they didn't fail anyone. No. That's like what I'm trying to get to. And Ridgway didn't kill because women didn't make him happy. He killed because he was a predator who targeted vulnerable women and girls. Period. That's fucking it.
Yeah. I mean, there's no other way to say that.
There isn't. So, Yeah. But like I said, the murder slowed down, but they never truly stopped. He continued living in the same area, going to work, getting remarried, and even joining the neighborhood watch programs, all while hiding the truth. The neighborhood watch programs that were put together
for people like him.
For him. Not people like him, for him. They were protecting each other against him. It came together, the Green River Task Force, because of him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, he was doing all that while hiding the motherfucking truth. But on November 30th, 2001, everything came together. Ridgway...
But now they have them everywhere for people like him.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Because the world is fucking evil.
Yep.
But Ridgway was at work on November 30th, 2001, spray painting trucks at Kentworth plant like any normal day, while detectives walked in and arrested him.
As they should.
At work. In front of God and everybody.
As they should.
The first...
Go out with a bang.
Oh, yeah. The first indictment listed 4 victims: Marcia Chapman, Opal Mills, Cynthia Hines, and Carol Ann Christine. That is. I'm sorry. But the case didn't stop there. As forensic scientists dug deeper, they identified microscopic paint spheres on additional victims, tiny particles of a specific type of paint used only at Kentworth factory during the exact years Ridgway worked there. That link added 3 more names to the indictment: Wendy Caulfield, Deborah Bonner, and Deborah Estes.
Damn.
Yeah. So that tiny, tiny little piece of paint.
Yeah.
Connected more victims. I love that. When detectives arrested Gary, he didn't act surprised. He simply asked what took them so long. I'm serious.
That's terrible.
And I think the reason why he did that is because they walked in and arrested him at work. So he was like, I'm going to get one more ego boost in.
Right.
One more little boost.
So it took you so long?
So what took you so long? I would have punched him in the fucking face.
Bop! I would have headbutted him.
Mm.
Knock that tooth out.
Yep.
I don't even know what he looks like.
Old as fuck.
Damn.
We could push him over.
Okay.
Yep. DNA evidence tied him to several of the victims. When confronted with the proof, he admitted that he had a problem with women. He claimed that he thought women who worked on the streets wouldn't be missed, and said that killing them became a habit. He told investigators that he would pick up women when he was...
This is after the Julia girl?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Like, he was married to Judith.
Right.
Telling investigators that he had such a hatred for women. Yeah. Yeah. But again, the fucking quote that she said.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So he told investigators that he would pick up women whenever he was angry with his wife, and afterwards, Yeah.
Oh.
We're not laughing at the victims. We're laughing at the fact that this bitch was like, I'm happy I made him happy, and I think I saved lives.
Right, because he literally admitted to picking up the women when he was mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
At
her.
people.
At her and at everybody else that he was married to. So the fact that she thought that she was the saving grace in that.
It's scary.
Is scary. It is. But afterwards, he felt relief. Then he would go back to work as if nothing happened. Yeah. So when detectives showed him photos, he could rarely remember names, just locations. He said there were too many. Sometimes he'd describe a forest clearing or a stretch of a highway, and search teams would go out there, and sure enough, they'd find remains. By August of 2003, news outlets in Seattle began reporting that Gary Ridgway had been moved out of his maximum security cell at King County Jail and had been transferred to a lower security facility in Airway Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Around that same time, word began to spread that his legal team was negotiating a plea deal, one that would take the death penalty off of the table in exchange for Ridgway's full cooperation. I don't like that, but what else could they really do in order to get more information? Yeah. I fucking hate it, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, on November 5th, 2003, he formally pled guilty to 48 counts of aggravated first-degree murder.
Really?
Yep.
November 5th?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm gonna think about that every time my birthday rolls around.
I can't.
November 5th is not my birthday.
No, it is not, guys. No, it's not. But in the statements attached to his plea, Ridgway admitted that all of the victims had been killed within King County, Washington. He also explained that he had moved the remains of 2 victims to the Portland area specifically to mislead investigators to make the crimes appear more widespread. Prosecutors made it clear that the agreement was not for Ridgway's benefit, but it was for the families. Deputy Prosecutor Jeffrey Bard said that in court that without the plea, 41 of the victims' names would never have been included in any legal case at all. 41, unless they made that deal. King County prosecuting attorney Norm, I'm gonna butcher this, Maline, don't hate me, explained why he accepted the deal, saying that their goal was truth and closure. He emphasized that Ridgway did not deserve mercy, but the families deserved answers that no normal trial could have provided.
Well.
Yeah. On November 18th, 2003, Judge Richard A. Jones sentenced Ridgway to 48 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. On top of that, he added 10 years for each of the victims for evidence tampering, another 480 years. That would make... Yeah. Later, when the remains of another victim were identified, Ridgway received an additional life sentence.
So, like, they gave him the deal, but still gave him life.
Well, yeah, because they took the death penalty off the table. So they weren't going to kill him. They were just going to make him rot in there. Which, I mean, I guess that would be a great way to do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time...
I mean... Yeah.
Poke him with a hot stick every day. Don't let him live in just leisure, I guess.
Somebody gonna get him eventually. Karma, for sure.
Hopefully, Jesus. She is a very mean mistress. That's all I have to say. But during that cooperation period, Ridgway helped investigators locate 3 sets of remains in 2003. In August, the remains of 16-year-old Pammy Annette Evett were identified near Enipclaw, Jesus Christ, Utah.
Somewhere in Utah,
I think. Or Washington, I'm sorry. In September, investigators found the remains of Marie Mavar and April Butteram. In late 2005, a hiker found the skull of another missing young woman, 19-year-old Tracy Winston, who had disappeared in 1983. That discovery led to Ridgway's 49th life sentence. Years later, in 2023, remains known for decades only as Bone 17 were finally identified through modern technology as belonging to 15-year-old Lori Ann Raspunkny, who had vanished in 1982. Oh, damn. U-Haul driver driving fast. On a mission. Anyways. Ridgway ultimately confessed to more confirmed murders than any other American serial killer. Over 5 months of interviews, he admitted the responsibility for 48 murders, 42 of which were already known Green River cases. In recorded interviews released in early 2004, he at times claimed higher numbers, saying that he might have been responsible for 65. In another interview, he claimed 71. These higher numbers were never corroborated by physical evidence, but they matched his pattern of minimizing and exaggerating depending on the situation. Because, like I said earlier, ego boost.
I was just about to say.
Big ol' ego boost. Throughout those interviews, Ridgway explained why he chose his victims the way he did. He said that he targeted women and girls who were vulnerable or isolated because they were easy to approach and because he felt anger towards them.
Why?
Because he was a fucking disgusting prick.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I lost my place. Never mind. I found it. He also admitted that part of his goal was choosing the victims he thought police wouldn't prioritize, an attitude that caused enormous pain for families who spent years fighting to make sure their loved ones were not forgotten.
Yeah.
Because they were never just a pawn in his game.
Right.
Like he wanted them to be. These were real people with real lives, with real families, real love.
I was just about to say, and real everything.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just like a doll or some shit.
No, they were very much real. But near the end of the interviews, Ridgway tried to claim that some of his behaviors changed later in life because he was trying to control himself.
No, he wasn't.
No, the fuck he was not.
How do you kill that many people and say you controlled yourself?
How do you kill one person?
And say you controlled yourself.
Yeah, without it being self-defense or some sort of situation like that. How do you do that?
I don't know.
You can't. Prosecutors and investigators did not accept this as remorse, only as another attempt to shape his narrative.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to be the master of his own story. He wanted to be the one holding the pencil.
Yep, but he was not.
No. So after his sentencing, Ridgway was moved to solitary confinement at Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla in early 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Walla Walla.
Walla.
Officials kept him isolated because of the number of victims, the public attention surrounding the case, and the concerns about his safety inside the general population. I don't give a fuck about his safety. Put him out there.
Right.
Put him out there.
That's what I meant earlier.
Yep. Give all the inmates a hot stick.
Yep.
Let them poke them. Yep. More than a decade later, in May of 2000...
They wouldn't need a hot stick.
No.
They just need a stick.
Maybe I just want him to burn. Maybe. But in May of 2015, he was transferred out of Washington and placed in a high-security federal prison, USP Florence High, in Colorado. But that move caused a major backlash. Families, law enforcement, even Washington's governor questioned why one of the state's most notorious offenders was suddenly hundreds of miles away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But by September 2015, after the public outcry, Washington's corrections secretary announced that Ridgway would be brought back to Walla Walla so investigators could reach him more easily for any open or ongoing murder inquiries. He was returned to Washington on October 24th that year by a chartered plane.
Oh.
Yeah, because they couldn't just put him in a car.
No, I don't think you could.
No. Then, years later...
Not him, anyway.
Oh, yeah, no, because the public eye would most definitely be on that.
For sure.
For sure. But, anyways, then years later, something unusual happened. In September of 2024, Ridgway was quietly moved from Walla Walla back to the King County Jail for just a few days before being sent back again just as quietly. At the time, authorities refused to explain the transfer at all, which raised a lot of speculation.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Finally, in March of 2025, the sealed transportation order was made public, and it revealed the reason. Ridgway had been temporarily moved so he could assist in the ongoing effort to locate additional victim remains.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But they did not want to make that information public at the time. I don't know why. I feel like you should.
Very much so. If you have a really bad inmate running around saying, oh, well, I buried them here.
Yeah, I buried them here.
That should be public information.
That should be public information.
What if he gets out?
Mm-hmm. But even now, decades after the first disappearance, investigators are still trying to bring every victim home. That's why they continued to question Ridgway even in 2024 and 2025. And that's why his movements between facilities matter. Every transfer, every interview, every unsealed order. It's all part of the ongoing fight to give families the answers they've been waiting so far for too long.
Yeah, way too long.
Yep. I don't know why I fucked up saying what I just said, but I meant for far too long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I said that or not.
No, you didn't say that right.
I didn't, but anyways. Before we close out this episode, I do want to make a moment to to take a moment to honor the people.
Make a moment.
To make a moment.
Yep.
Woohoo.
Make a moment.
I am making a moment to honor the people at the center of this story. Because this case isn't about Gary Ridgway. It's about the women and girls whose lives were stolen. And it's about the families who searched, who begged for answers, who never stopped hoping someone would say their names out loud again.
Right.
So right now, I want to read their names because this is for them. I'm going to say their names and then I'm going to say their ages. And just bear with me. Okay? I'm dyslexic. 16-year-old Wendy Lee Caulfield, 17-year-old Giselle Ann Lavorne, 23-year-old Deborah Lynn Bonner, 31-year-old Marcia Faye Chapman, 17-year-old Cynthia Jean Hines, 16-year-old Opal Charmaine Mills, 16-year-old Terry Renee Milligan, 18-year-old Mary Bridget Meehan, 15-year-old Deborah Lorraine Estes, 16-year-old Linda Jane Rule, 23-year-old Denise Darcel Bush, 16-year-old Shonda Lee Summers, 18-year-old Shirley May Sherrill, 15-year-old Lori Ann Raponsky. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to butcher that one, but I knew it was going to happen. 20-year-old Rebecca Becky Marrero, 18-year-old Alma Ann Smith, 17-year-old Dolores Laverne Williams. I love the name Laverne.
It is really nice name.
23-year-old Gail Lynn Matthews, 19-year-old Andrea Marone Childers, 17-year-old Sandra K. Gabbert, 16-year-old Kim Kai Pistor, 18-year-old Marie M. Mavar, 21-year-old Carol Ann Christine, 18-year-old Martina Theresa Altherley, 18-year-old Cheryl Lee Wims, 19-year-old Yvonne Shelley Ashtonosh, 19-year-old Constance Elizabeth Noan, 22-year-old Kelly Marie Ware, 21-year-old Tina Marie Thompson, 16-year-old April Dawn Buttram, 26-year-old Debbie Mae Alberthany, 19-year-old Tracy Ann Winston, 19-year-old Maureen Sue Finley, 25-year-old Mary Sue Bellow, 15-year-old Pammy Ann Annette Event, 22-year-old Delise Louise Palgar, 21-year-old Kimberly L. Nelson, 19-year-old Lisa Yates, 16-year-old Mary Estes West, 17-year-old Cindy Ann Smith, 19-year-old Patricia Michelle Buzzark, 21-year-old Roberta Joseph Hayes, 36-year-old Marta Reeves, and 38-year-old Patricia Ann Yarborough. Each one of these women had a life, a story, and people who loved them. May their names continue to be remembered longer than his ever will, because Southern Sins isn't about glorifying the killer, it's about giving the victims back their voices and reminding the world that they matter. Gary Ridgway took away their futures, but he didn't take away their legacy.
Nope.
I do have to mention that I think a month ago, because I just got the notification on my phone 2-3 nights ago, that Gary Ridgway apparently had a heart attack in the facility, but he was taken to the hospital and he survived. And it's kind of weird because the facility is like, that didn't happen. He didn't have a heart attack. But at the same time,
you got the notification.
Yeah, I got the notification, so
it's weird.
That's weird, because I very much keep track. I'm keeping track of where and what's going on.
She's always been aware.
Always. I know what everybody's doing. Always. But, yeah, so that is our episode.
Yep.
I hope you guys take the time to do your own research. Maybe look into it.
Yeah.
See the families. Because all of these, like, every case that we've covered, there's usually a very big website for, like, the families that have put up obituaries, and all you have to do is search a name. That's all you have to do. If you want to pay your respects, you very much can. You could even, like, plant a tree in memory of them.
Plant trees, y'all.
Plant trees, flower bushes. It's a lovely thought.
But I think that is the end of our episode.
That is the end of the episode, guys. So remember, lock your windows, lock your doors, change your routines, stay chaotic.
Don't hate too hard.
And we'll be seeing you again.
Yeah.
Later.